Do you ever feel like something is holding you back, but you can't explain what it is? Like no matter how hard you try, success always seems just out of reach. It's frustrating, isn't it? That feeling, that invisible weight, it's not just in your head. Right now, your mind might be controlled by invisible barriers. Barriers you didn't choose, barriers you don't even see. They've been built over time by fears, doubts, and outside influences. These walls keep you stuck in the same patterns, the same routines, over and over again. But here's the truth, you can break free. Imagine living without that constant second-guessing or fear of failure. Imagine taking full control of your thoughts and decisions. In this video, I'm going to show you how to recognize these barriers and how to shatter them for good. Ready to take control? Let's get started. Let's take a step back. Have you ever stopped to think about why you hold yourself back? Why you avoid certain opportunities or second-guess your own choices? It's not because you're lazy or incapable. It's because your mind has been trained without you even realizing it. From the moment we're born, we're surrounded by influences. Parents, teachers, friends, media, they all play a role in shaping how we think and feel. Maybe someone told you that you're not smart enough or that taking risks is dangerous. These small moments, these tiny comments, build walls in your mind. They turn into beliefs, and those beliefs control you, often without your awareness. These are what we call invisible barriers. They're not physical, but they're just as powerful. They dictate how you see the world, how you see yourself, and even how far you believe you can go. For example, think about how many times you've heard phrases like, "Stay in your comfort zone," or "Play it safe." Over time, you start to believe those words. You stop taking chances. You convince yourself that it's better to avoid failure than to try at all. And it doesn't stop there. Fear plays a huge role too. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being judged. These fears reinforce those invisible barriers, making them feel unbreakable. The problem is, these barriers don't just affect one part of your life. They creep into everything: your career, your relationships, your goals. They make you settle for less, even when deep down you know you're capable of more. But here's the good news: these barriers are not permanent. They're not unbreakable. In fact, the first step to overcoming them is recognizing that they exist. And that's what we're doing right now. By understanding how these invisible forces shape your thoughts, you're already starting to take back control. The key is to stop letting them run your life, to stop giving them power over your decisions. In the next steps, I'll show you how to break through these barriers and finally take charge of your mind. Because once you do, the possibilities are endless. Now that you know what's holding you back, imagine what your life could look like without those barriers. Imagine waking up every day with confidence, knowing that you control your thoughts, not the other way around. That's not just a fantasy. It's possible, and it starts with a simple shift in your mindset. The first thing to understand is this: your mind is like a program. Over time, it's been filled with outdated and faulty code, those beliefs, fears, and doubts we talked about earlier. But here's the best part: you can rewrite it. You can delete the thoughts that don't serve you and replace them with ones that empower you. Think about this. Some of the most successful people in the world were once held back by the same invisible barriers. They had fears, doubts, and failures, just like you. But what sets them apart is their ability to break free. They didn't wait for permission or for the perfect moment. They rewrote the narrative in their minds and decided to take control. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She grew up facing poverty and rejection. People doubted her every step of the way, but she didn't let those barriers define her. Instead, she changed the way she thought about herself and her potential. The result? She became one of the most influential people in the world. What's the common thread among people like her? They recognize their invisible barriers, challenge them, and push beyond them. And you can do the same. It's not about being fearless. It's about acting despite the fear. It's about questioning every limiting belief and asking yourself, is this really true? Or is this just something I've been taught to believe? Here's the truth. Most of the barriers in your mind are lies. They're illusions. They only have power because you've given it to them. Once you stop believing in them, they crumble. But how do you start? It's not as complicated as it seems. The process begins with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," stop. Ask yourself, who told me that? Is that really true? Most of the time you'll realize it's not. From there, you start replacing those thoughts with empowering ones. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," say, "I'm learning and I'll get better." Instead of saying, "I'll never succeed," say, "I'm capable and I'll keep trying until I do." It might feel strange at first, but over time, this rewiring will change the way you think and feel. This isn't about pretending life is perfect or ignoring challenges. It's about training your mind to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. It's about realizing that you have the power to create a different story for yourself, one where you're in control. Breaking free from invisible barriers isn't just about achieving your goals. It's about living fully. It's about experiencing the freedom to be yourself, to take risks, and to dream without limits. That's the kind of life you deserve. In the next part, I'll give you practical tools to help you start this transformation. Simple, actionable steps you can take today to begin breaking free from the barriers controlling your mind. Now it's time to get practical. Breaking free from these invisible barriers doesn't require magic. It's about consistent action. Here are simple, effective steps to start reclaiming control over your mind. Step 1. Identify the barriers. Start by observing your thoughts. Throughout the day, write down the negative beliefs that pop up. For example, "I'm not good enough," or "I always fail." Don't judge them. Just notice them. These thoughts are the barriers you need to break. Awareness is the first step. If you don't know what's holding you back, you can't fix it. Step 2. Question those thoughts. When you catch a limiting belief, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true? For example, if you think, "I can't start a business," ask, "Why not?" Maybe you'll realize there's no real reason, just fear or doubt. This simple exercise helps you see that most barriers are based on assumptions, not facts. Step 3. Replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. This is where the real change happens. Every time you notice a negative thought, replace it with a positive one. For example, if you think, "I'm not smart enough," say, "I'm capable of learning anything I need." This might feel awkward at first, but with practice it becomes natural. Over time, these positive thoughts will start shaping your reality. Step 4. Take small, consistent actions. The best way to prove those barriers wrong is through action. Start small. If fear of failure is holding you back, take one tiny step toward your goal. For example, if you're scared to speak in public, start by sharing your ideas in a small group. Every small win chips away at the walls in your mind. Step 5. Surround yourself with supportive influences. The people around you can either lift you up or reinforce your barriers. Choose wisely. Spend time with people who inspire you, who encourage you to think bigger. Avoid those who constantly criticize or bring negativity. Remember, your environment plays a big role in shaping your mindset. Step 6. Practice mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware of your thoughts. Spend a few minutes each day focusing on your breathing or observing your thoughts without judgment. Pair this with gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, breaking the cycle of negativity. Step 7. Embrace failure as part of growth. One of the biggest barriers is the fear of failure. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Every successful person has failed countless times. Instead of fearing failure, see it as a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? With this mindset, failure loses its power over you. Step 8. Visualize your success. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself achieving your goals. See it, feel it, believe it. Visualization helps your brain associate success with positive emotions, making it easier to take action. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a powerful tool to reprogram your mind. Step 9. Set clear, realistic goals. Barriers often thrive in uncertainty. If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to feel stuck. Set specific, achievable goals. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be successful," say, "I want to save $1,000 in 3 months." Clear goals give you direction and help you measure progress. Step 10. Celebrate your wins. No matter how small the victory, celebrate it. Did you overcome a fear? Did you take a step toward your goal? Acknowledge it. This reinforces positive behavior and motivates you to keep going. The truth is, breaking free from these barriers won't happen overnight. It's a journey, and it requires effort, But every step you take brings you closer to the life you deserve. A life where you're in control, where your thoughts empower you instead of holding you back. Start with 1 or 2 of these steps today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There's no such thing. The sooner you take action, the sooner you'll see results. And remember, every small step counts. In the final part, I'll leave you with a powerful message to carry forward. Let's wrap this up. You've made it this far, and that says a lot about you. Most people let their invisible barriers control them forever, but not you. You're here because you're ready to take control of your mind and your life. Let's take a moment to recap. We uncovered the hidden barriers holding you back, those beliefs and fears you didn't even know were there. We talked about how they shape your decisions and keep you stuck. But we didn't stop there. You now have practical steps to break free. Steps that, if you follow them, can change everything. Imagine how your life will look once these barriers are gone. Imagine waking up with confidence, chasing your dreams, and living fully. That life isn't just possible, it's within your reach. And it starts with action. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Start today. Even the smallest step can create a ripple effect that transforms your future. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one thing from this video. Maybe it's identifying your barriers. Maybe it's challenging a belief that's holding you back. Whatever it is, do it today. Don't let the inspiration fade without taking action. And if you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs it. Help them break free from their own barriers. Finally, if you're ready to keep growing and taking control of your life, subscribe to this channel. Join a community of people just like you who refuse to let fear and doubt win. Together we can push past limits and unlock the potential we all have inside. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to live a life controlled by invisible barriers. The power to change is already in your hands. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Thank you for watching, and remember, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you can't have it. But now you know better. Take the first step and never look back.